In San Francisco, there's a light bulb that's been on for 125 years. The Centennial bulb was lit in 1901 and has been working ever since, save for mere minutes here and there where it was moved or during a total blackout. But it still works. Modern LED light bulbs kinda suck. They only last 10,000 hours if the packaging is to be believed. But I mean, at least they're better than filament bulbs, right? In the 20th century, there was a whole thing about the light bulb cartel, which purposefully made light bulbs worse so they could sell more. Now, while in the present day LEDs are very efficient and it wouldn't be worth the cost to manufacture a super duper high-tech light bulb, it's obvious we can actually manufacture super long-lived bulbs. So let's strip everything else away with a blank check. What immortal bulb could we actually make? Firstly, it would have to be a filament bulb. See, this sounds contradictory as they are super inefficient, but a filament bulb of proper strength lasts longer than a diode. Diodes degrade linearly to time when they're switched on, but filaments actually survive better if they aren't thermally shocked on and off again all the time. While the Centennial bulb has a carbon filament, we can make a graphene filament. This is the strongest substance in the universe we know of, can survive 2500 degrees Celsius without chemical degradation like regular carbon filament, and conducts electricity well, just like diamond. This will cost about $5,000. Filament bulbs work by suspending this filament inside a vacuum. That's why the bulbs stop working if their shell breaks. Most glass leaks a little bit of the atmosphere into the bulb over time, so instead we will use two separate walls of synthetic diamond, like an aircraft window. This is superior in preventing gas permeation. We utilize the strongest vacuum pumps on the market today to make the vacuum inside the bulb similar to that of deep space. New metallurgical processes may need to be devised in order to fabricate the right shape of diamond casing. This will cost about $10,000. The filament cannot touch any wires on the edge of the glass. This filament will have to be suspended inside this bulb. We create a magnetic levitation rig powered by wireless induction coils to transfer power directly into the filament to prevent thermal anomalies, which could destroy the contact points of this graphene. This needs to be built on a ceramic base outside of the bulb because zero circuits would allow for easy maintenance over millennia as power systems come and go. We also introduce a fail-safe system to keep the bulb running even when electricity is not supplied from the mains. This will cost around another $5,000. The labour required and the clean rooms needed to achieve a near perfect vacuum would be similar to CPU manufacturing. Therefore, an ISO clean room of at least 5, but lower the better, would be necessary. The high precision engineering is required. By hand it will cost about $5,000, but might cost more if machines are introduced. So our prototype ultimately would cost in the ballpark of about $25,000. This is the smallest spec opportunity, as any of these steps could go wrong and completely ruin the bulb. So this is multiplied by how many prototypes you need to make that are needed to get it right. So if someone one day did this, it would probably either be for a publicity stunt, or if the light bulb mafia actually decided to mass produce it, economies of scale could bring it costs down some way. But it would still definitely be a luxury item, possibly reaching below $1,000 with enough mass production. So what would the timeline of this bulb actually look like? The bulb is placed inside a vault. There is a way to monitor it, but otherwise it is kept away from anything other than the most pristine conditions in order to preserve its perfect vacuum. The bulb has outlived most incandescent and filament bulbs 9 times over, which historically were only rated to survive about 1,000 hours of continuous work. Because of their poor vacuums, the filament would easily break due to the oxidization or thermal degradation. The bulb has outlived most factory LEDs' lifespan at approximately 40,000 hours. The bulb still operates at 100% efficiency and is unaffected. The bulb has survived as long as the Centennial bulb has in the year 2026, while the Centennial bulb is running a paltry 4 watts and is nothing like its original self. Our bulb is like it was made yesterday. The electrical technology on the exterior is replaced after half a millennium of atmospheric degradation. The diamond casing is unharmed. The electronics will be swapped every 500 years going forward, but the filament itself is untouched in the process. Even though diamond is incredibly dense, the second smallest element, helium, manages to penetrate both layers of the diamond a tiny bit. They do so the first layer many orders of years quicker than the second, but some stray helium atoms have found their way into the center vacuum. Helium though is quite very unreactive, so it's not that big of a deal. The power of the bulb is approximately 95% of its original due to microscopic degradation of the graphene. While helium is unreactive, it still takes the heat energy from that graphene and causes minor molecular scale damage to the carbon lattice. The bulb is at 85% of its original brightness. More helium has entered the center chamber. Because of the uneven decay of the graphene, the filament begins to have a slightly warm, off-white glow rather than its crisp white when it was first manufactured. The bulb is at 55% of its original brightness. Penetration of heavier gases is increasing, like nitrogen and oxygen. Oxygen in particular is highly reactive and degrades the carbon filament. It begins to thin out in certain regions. This is not uniform across the filament. The diamond container is still 100% intact though, however the vacuum is less efficient. The bulb inevitably goes out when the graphene filament finally snaps at some point along its axis where molecules that had infiltrated the vacuum and taken on a symmetrically large amount of carbon molecules form. The light bulb has survived for almost as long as modern humanity has existed in the year 2026. But before I go, the light bulb could hypothetically last a lot longer if we weren't running it at full power, just like how they have kept the centennial bulb on for so long. If we were to run it with a baseline of say 1 lumen, trying to maximize its longevity, its lifespan is extended to about 100,000 years. If instead we start at 1 lumen and just let it continue to shine until we can't see it anymore, so it goes below 1 lumen afterwards, its lifespan's a bit more like 1 million years. The ultimate bulb though, a triple layered diamond levitation light bulb with a graphene filament left in a stable environment indefinitely could last approximately 30 million years, where at that point enough quantum tunneling would cause the light bulb to break. This is not because of outside interference or anything, it's purely because of quantum physics and the millions of years of hydrogen tunneling its way into the bulb by pure chance. This alternative bulb would cost approximately $10 million on the discount end. Furthermore, if conditions like today were to not change while the bulb was on, over $1 billion of upkeep of the bulb and its environment could be expected over its lifetime, replacing the electronics every 500 years, keeping the environment stable. So there's your next backyard project, an eternal bulb, a symbol of humanity's persistence in this indifferent universe. Though maybe not the best financial investment. But think about it this way, $1 billion over 30 million years is only about $33 a year. So maybe you could make a tourist location out of it. Come see the light that's been shining for millions of years. You'd have to do something like a priesthood of the immortal light bulb who holds it in trust to manufacture the bases needed to sustain the bulb. But if you intend to do this, I wish you the best of luck.